Are you questioning the best path to healing and integrating your shadow self or the aspect of yourself that cause you or others harm? Perhaps you are considering healing yourself through spirituality or through one of the major world religions. Or perhaps you are considering engaging in therapy or a psychological practice or somatic practice or an energy practice. Or perhaps you are drawn towards more scientific or medical approaches. There are many paths to healing and integration, and we all need to find the path that resonates with us. There are pros and cons to each path, and ultimately, you are the one who knows which path you should be on. And this video is not intended to convince you to engage in any one path. It's actually encouraged to help you to connect to your own inner divinity to find the path that is right for you. Spiritual paths. Many people are following one of the major world religions, which all in their own way have rules and structures to help their followers be more in alignment with the religious teachings so that they engage in the world as a more compassionate, kind person, so that they can be a good human being. That said, many world religions, if you study the history of how they were formed, they were actually created not by the teachers of the original teachings, but they were formed by governments or followers of the original guru who first taught or had the spiritual experience that led to the teachings. In my upcoming book, I kind of have the theory, and I explore the theory that major religions and major spiritual practices become what they become because one person has a mystical experience connecting to something that helps them heal and step into wholeness, and then they decide to teach that to others as a path to help them achieve the same things. In fact, my book does the same thing in its own way. The difference is between my book and these other teachings is that they can become dogma, that they can become an absolute truth, that this is the only way to achieve what can be achieved. My book actually says there are millions of ways to achieve this. So you have to find the way that resonates with you, and it offers some potential paths and exercises to experiment with. So religion and spiritual practices, what are the cons? The cons are you might get trapped in some of the woundings that are built into some of these traditions, and you might actually engage in behaviors that lead you to cause harm to self and others, rather than engaging in the original teaching, which is being a compassionate individual and working towards the common good of all and causing no harm. So there are distortions in some of the teachings that actually lead you to do the opposite of what the core teaching is, which is do no harm to self or other and be compassionate. The other reason is some of these teachings lead you to suppress or spiritually bypass the aspects of ourselves that are shadow aspects of ourselves. So we are all capable of causing harm, and we are all capable of being compassionate. And we all do engage in behaviors that cause harm to self or others, or do all have belief systems that cause harm to self or others. So some spiritual practices and teachings actually lead you to avoid or deny those aspects of yourself, or they lead you to shame and guilt yourself of those aspects of yourself, which then lead you to actually engage from those wounds. So the danger of a purely spiritual approach is you deny one half of yourself and you don't actually integrate it. Even some teachings like yoga can teach you to watch. Some teachers of yoga can teach you to watch those aspects of yourself as if they are clouds, but not actually get to know them and integrate them and heal them. So I'm not saying that those ways of engaging are wrong, but I'm just kind of curious if it actually leads to full healing and integration, but they might be what is right for some people. Now let's go to psychology and healing modalities. So Healing modalities such as psychology and somatic practices and energy work. Let's take psychology for example to start. It's a way to integrate your unconscious and your shadow and to heal and get to know the aspects of yourself that are causing you and others harm. And some of these practices are science-based, and some of these practices are more socially based. And all of these practices also lead to some form of healing and integration, just like spiritual practices can. But they don't always take into account the spiritual aspect of yourself, and they don't always take into account the body aspect of yourself. They oftentimes lead to just intellectual processing and an intellectual understanding of yourself. So although they can lead to some healing and integration, they don't always address all aspects of healing and integration. But they are often a great path for some. Let's take energy work as a solely path. So there's many teachers out there that do energy work, and energy work is a great foundation. We are all energetic beings. In my book, I explore what energy is. I even explore what it is through a science and quantum physics perspective. So for those of you out there that are like, energy doesn't exist, I don't believe in that, that's okay. There are scientific ways to understand it, but energy work works with the energy body to heal and raise the vibration, which then helps clear and purge emotions and thoughts and belief systems. But it doesn't always lead to a deep understanding of why the wound was there in the first place. So it might lead to changes in behavior, but you might not have the self-awareness of why you did what you did. And there are some benefits to understanding why you did what you did that can actually help speed up the process of integration. So energy work is one way of healing that might be right for some. Somatic work. So body work is another way to heal. Body work addresses the muscles, the fascia, and can help to release things because emotions are stored in the body. But that doesn't always lead to the spiritual aspect, it doesn't always lead to the energetic aspect, and it doesn't always lead to the psychological understanding. So although it can be helpful, it doesn't always address the others. So how is my book different from each of the individual paths that I've discussed? Well, for one thing, my book explores each of these paths in some format and explores why there's benefits to them. So it helps you to understand what each can offer. It also offers a step-by-step guide of how to integrate all of these paths through mindfulness as the primary tool of learning to witness. So mindfulness is a spiritual practice of observing your internal workings, your thoughts, your emotions, your body sensations, your beliefs, and getting curious. Well, I teach to get curious about them. Some traditions actually teach you just to observe them as clouds and let them wash away. And that is a form of spiritual bypassing because you're basically ignoring them, and that re-traumatizes them. So I teach how to get to know them, how to integrate them, and how to heal them. I also teach energy work and how to feel your own energy and how to release things energetically. I also teach spirituality of how to connect to what I call the collective divine, which is what I think the spiritual teachers who created religion connected to, and they just interpreted it in their own way, and that became the spiritual teachings. So I teach you how to have a personal relationship with this energy because I believe it's unique to you and your needs. So I essentially am teaching you how to heal yourself, and then I offer a few somatic practices like yoga. So I'm teaching you how to tap into your own innate wisdom so that you know what you need at any given moment to heal yourself. It might be that at any given moment you need just the religious path, or you need just the mindfulness path that spiritually bypasses, or you just need the energy path, or you just need the somatic path. And I believe they all eventually lead to the integration path of integrating all of those practices at once. So I'm teaching you how to tap into your own innate knowing to develop your own path of healing that resonates to your unique needs. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video and to be curious about how you yourself can undergo your own hero's journey of healing and integration and returning to wholeness.